What's going on, my friends? Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm back again for another live stream, and I want to talk about George Soros and the recent news that is going on all over the place about George Soros and what's going on. So I'm going to wait about 10-15 seconds. If you don't already know, follow me on here, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, at Legendary Energy. Follow me on Instagram if you want at Dream Rare. Give me about 10 seconds. I'm going to begin. I'm going to drink. Got some kale, some blueberries, some baby kale, some orange juice, some freshly squeezed, you know, the real deal. So give me 1 second. Please share this video if you like it as well, and share it around to some groups, because this is going to be an important talk that I think everybody from all sides of the political spectrum should hear. Recently, and this is not a conspiracy, this is literally in AP, I believe Reuters, Reuters.com reported it, BBC, they're all reporting it. Hungary and Israel have mutually called George Soros a threat. So they're acknowledging George Soros as a threat. There's some sort of campaign going on, and George Soros is saying it's anti-Semitic. He's like, hey, you hating on me, that's anti-Semitic. But the weird thing is, a lot of Jewish people that I know can't stand George Soros. They oppose George Soros, and the whole state and the president of Israel's opposing George Soros, and he's saying it's anti-Semitic. How's it anti-Semitic when most of Israel doesn't even like you? Makes no sense. So let's take a look into who George Soros is, and this is important because he's running rampant all over the United States, socially, economically, and funding all sorts of organizations. George Soros is a wealthy billionaire who manipulates world currencies and governments. If you ask somebody who doesn't like him, they would tell you that he exploits them and steals their money and destroys their whole economy just to make a profit. And if you listen to him, people who are pro George Soros will say, well, and George Soros himself had said in a 60 Minutes interview, he said, listen, the game's broken, I just exploit it. He admits himself, he says, I'm not a bad person. The reason that I do it, the reason that I exploit governments and destroy currencies and destroy families and destroy lives, I do it because if I didn't do it, somebody else would do it. So I might as well just do it and make profits. His Open Society Foundation is banned from Russia. It looks like it's soon to be banned from possibly Israel and Hungary. He's destroyed Indonesia. He's ruined the economies in a lot of parts of Asia. I mean, his influence is worldwide because he's so well renowned as a wealthy billionaire who is usually right about a lot of things as far as trends when it comes to currencies. Anytime he says something or does something, everybody follows, and he's literally destroyed complete economies, like ruined whole countries. And the interesting thing about me that I find super, super interesting and also super, super alarming is that the liberal left, or people who like Hillary Clinton or whoever, I don't know what type of people support George Soros, but these people will tell you, oh, no, he's a humanitarian, he's a philanthropist, he's just an all-around great guy. But George Soros himself literally admitted in a 60 Minutes interview, he admitted himself, so while liberals and Hillary Clinton supporters shill for him, he admitted to himself that he doesn't care about the consequence. He doesn't care about social consequences. He doesn't care about economic consequences. He doesn't care. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. This is out of his own mouth. He says, I don't care what happens to people. I don't care what happens to the economy. I don't care what happens socially. I'm here to make money, and I don't care. I can't care. I'm a businessman. I will make money no matter if it destroys an economy, no matter if it destroys the social structure of a country. He has admitted this. He has literally said this. And keep in mind, he's investing millions of dollars into Hillary Clinton's campaign. He's investing millions of dollars into a lot of activist groups. He's invested millions of dollars into, I believe, the Women's March. A lot of reports have him donating to Linda Sarsour, the Palestinian activist or whatever, the Palestinian creepy nasty woman who's leading the women's rights movements in the United States. She's a terrible person, has nothing to do with her religion or her gender. She's just a terrible person. This is what George Soros is doing. So let's push the conspiracies aside. This is something that everybody should hear. I don't understand. If you're a liberal or a Democrat, you should know this because it's a fact. George Soros manipulates currencies and governments and social structures for profit. He cares about nothing but profit. He has admitted to caring about nothing but profit. And this should make you a little suspicious. If you read anything in the New York Times or the Washington Post or the MSNBC, they act like he's a humanitarian and a philanthropist and a social justice hero when he's absolutely not. So that raises the question of who's lying. And I mean, it's pretty clear to me that George Soros doesn't care about anything but money. That's fine. I will give him props in the interview. He doesn't admit to not doing it. It's like almost like these news sources and, you know, phony liberals. I won't even call them real liberals, because a real liberal that really wants to stand up for the world and their country, they would be telling the truth about George Soros, not lying about it. George Soros will tell you to your face, I only care about money. I don't care about the social consequences. So then you have to ask yourself, if he doesn't care about the social consequences, he only cares about money, why would he be invested in the women's marches? Why would he be invested in activists? Why would he have an Open Society Foundation, which is blasting millions of dollars into the resistance and into Hillary Clinton? It's because he will literally destabilize entire countries just to make a profit. And that's happening right now. I really think he's losing money in the U.S. because he's throwing probably a fit. He wanted to win the election with Hillary Clinton, and he didn't win. So now he's doing anything he can. He's radicalizing people. He's paying activists. People keep writing in the live stream, why isn't he arrested? It's because there's no law and order in the world. And I say this in every live stream. If you're a high-ranking politician and you do anything, you don't get arrested. There's no law whatsoever for these type of things. But once again, this is a big reason that the media is very anti-Russia. You have George Soros, who all his organizations are banned from Russia because Russia just kicked them out. I believe Russia kicked out the Rothschilds bank. They kicked out George Soros. They kicked out basically anyone who's manipulating currencies and manipulating the entire world's economy. Russia kicked them out. So do you think it's a coincidence that there's all this anti-Russia news and all this pro-George Soros news? If the news was honest and Russia was really that bad, they would tell the truth about Russia. They would tell us how bad Russia is. But then they would tell us about George Soros and be like, hey, this guy's out here manipulating social structures and manipulating economies purely for money. But they don't do it. So now Russia has joined forces. They've kicked the Soros Foundation out. Israel is now sick and tired of the foundation. Hungary's sick and tired of it. And Donald Trump is sick of it too. We have a president in the United States who knows about George Soros. Trust me, him and his kids, they absolutely know that George Soros is an economic hitman. There's many books about it. I believe a very famous book called Tales of the Economic Hitman. It's about people like George Soros who literally have such influence and they study the world so much, they can buy and sell and manipulate currencies, make a currency rise and fall, take all their money out, destroy an entire country, destroy an entire economy, destroy the social structure of a place. And he's admitted on 60 Minutes that he doesn't care. It's not a conspiracy, it's a fact. He literally said, I don't care about the social repercussions. It's a direct quote from him. I don't care what happens socially. He doesn't care. So if he doesn't care what happens socially, why is he one of the heaviest investors in the U.S. media and the U.S. social justice warrior movement? Why is he like a #1 funder of activists in the United States if he doesn't care about social justice? It's because he'll do anything for money. And he'll literally try to bring the U.S. economy down, bring down the U.S. social structure. It's happening now. Why do you think people complain, oh, we're on the brinks of a civil war, this and that? We're really not. It's more of an information war. Nobody's really going to take to the streets, not that many people. It's an information war. But we're in the middle of it now. It's because of people like George Soros, who's out of control. Hillary Clinton spent $1.2 billion on a failed campaign where she called everybody racist and sexist and xenophobic. She called everyone terrible. She called everyone deplorables. She said third-party voters live in their mom's basement and they're losers. She didn't have press conferences. She didn't have rallies. I mean, what type of sick, disgusting people do you think run our country? And that Donald Trump, conservatives, progressives, and just independent free thinkers, who do you think we're fighting? It's these people who spend $1.2 billion to call everybody racist, sexist, xenophobic, losers, pathetic, deplorables, not talk to anybody. Hillary Clinton's campaign was the most foul, disgusting, insane thing I've ever seen. She made no effort to connect with anybody. She just literally roped in and brainwashed weak women and weak individuals into thinking, oh, I'm a nasty woman, blah, blah, blah. Such a disgusting campaign. Who do you think was one of her major funders and major allies? George Soros. That's one of her major allies. He runs rampant all over the world. He's literally collapsed, entire economies in Russia. He's destroyed a lot of lives and had a big social influence in Russia, in Indonesia, in Asia, all over the place. This guy's got ridiculous amounts of money, and that's what he does. He's not in the tech industry. He's not a musician or a singer. He's not a business owner that, makes Apple computers. He is literally an economic hitman who goes to other countries, manipulates the currencies, comes out of it, and makes billions off of destroying economies. Like, that's what he admittingly does. I don't understand why people don't get this, because Democrats, liberals, and Hillary Clinton supporters alike, they all support him like, oh, no, he's a philanthropist. He's a, and I'm sure, I don't know him personally, so I would like to say, much love to him and his family. I'm not here trying to say all these things. I'm just talking about what he's admitted. He's admitted on 60 Minutes that he doesn't care about the social repercussions of all of his, plays in the world, that he's taking advantage of broken systems. He admits that. So I would be an idiot, just like any Democrat or liberal is a complete idiot, to ignore that. You're an idiot, because it's not a conspiracy. It's not a right-wing conspiracy. It's not only found on Breitbart or Alex Jones. It's not a loser, progressive third-party conspiracy. It's a fact that he literally said to your face. You have to be an idiot to not even consider that. So why is this guy who doesn't care about the social repercussions of his policies, why is he all invested all over the United States? Open Society Foundation, there's reports of him funding Black Lives Matter. There's reports of him funding Linda Sarsour to the tune of millions of dollars. There's reports of him funding the Women's March. I mean, he's openly funding the Women's March. You look at his Twitter, he's not hiding it. He's a total Democrat. He's a total Hillary Clinton. He's a total globalist. He's a total, world manipulator. And he's admitted to not caring about social consequences. So why is he involved in all these social events if he doesn't care about social consequences? It's because anybody knows the economy, the world, social is a part of it. How people think, how they act, what they do, that influences politics and therefore influences the economy. So he's using the social aspect of everything to pretend like he's a philanthropist. Hey, let me fund the Women's March. But he's doing it because Hillary Clinton has already hijacked the women's movements, and she's hijacked a lot of the gay and lesbian movements. I have a lot of gay, lesbian, and transgender supporters, much love to them, that are free-thinking free-thinking lesbians, free-thinking transgenders. They support me because they're like, you know what, I realize I'm being lied to, but a majority of the LGBT movement has been hijacked by Hillary Clinton. If you go to West Hollywood, it's resist, 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 resist. You would think it's one big Hillary Clinton ad because she hijacked the gay movement. She hijacked feminism. Her and George Soros, they'll literally hijack any movement and use it for a political agenda. So I want to say, if you care about the LGBT community, I think you should, and I think it's a very worthy cause. I'm not here to hate on it. I'm here to show you love and support. Same with feminism, true empowerment to women. I have a lot of love and respect for you. I support a real feminist, but I don't support a fake feminist like Linda Sarsour, who's calling for jihad. I don't, on the United States, I know she didn't mean it, but she's like, we should be outraged every day. We should have jihad in the United States. I understand maybe you didn't mean to say it in that way, but why don't you wake up one morning and instead of being outraged so much and so negative, why don't you be grateful that you're in the United States? Because if you were in Palestine or on the Gaza Strip, your life would be miserable. So you should be a little bit more grateful that you're in the United States, that you have hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter, that you're getting millions of dollars from George Soros, and that you're allowed to just parade around and be hateful and you get praised for it. You should be very grateful to be in the United States, because any other country in the world, you would not be able to get away with what you're doing, Linda Sarsour. So be a little grateful, stop being so hateful. And that goes to all the movements, the resistance movements, the women's movements, the feminist movements. I support all of that. I support your religious freedom, your racial freedom, your feminist freedom, and your LGBT freedom. I absolutely do, but be very careful, because George Soros is literally funding all of these movements, and he doesn't care about the social aspect of it. So why is he using you? He's using people because human beings, especially in the LGBT community, especially women, very emotional and very kind-hearted. A lot of very good people, a lot of very great people, a lot of very good hearts, good souls, and good minds, and they're easily manipulated. So for me, I try to empower you, and I try to tell you, you can do anything you want in the world. Be grateful, be happy, go out and start a business, go out and achieve your dream, be a musician, be an actor, do whatever you want to do. I empower you. There's other nasty people like Hillary Clinton and George Soros who use your kind-heartedness and your open soul and your beautiful mind. They use it to radicalize you for their political agenda. It's just facts. It's what happens. People are going to find out eventually, because you can't hide this stuff for much longer. It's already out there. And trust me, Donald Trump and his family knows. A lot of conservatives, pretty much all conservatives know. Pretty much all progressives, Bernie Sanders people and Jill Stein people, pretty much all of them know about what's going on. So the reality of it is the news reports like, oh, we're such a minority. It's only a minority in the news. I mean, look at the election. They lied about everything. They said Bernie Sanders has no chance, Donald Trump has no chances, and 99%. And look what happened against all odds, against the fact they cheated. They absolutely cheated the vote. They rigged the vote. They rigged the media. They rigged the debates. They rigged everything. And they still lost, because the true majority is the open-minded people. The true majority is the loving people who know what George Soros is doing, who knows what Hillary Clinton's doing, who knows what John Podesta is doing. Tens of millions of people know. All that they have left, the last bit of even like life that they have, is the fake news mainstream media that continuously lies to everybody, tells everybody that George Soros is this peaceful philanthropist. And I'm not even debating it, because me personally, I don't dislike George Soros a lot. I think he's very honest in the sense of he told people. It's not like he's hiding it. He's probably laughing behind closed doors at how stupid people are. I love and respect George Soros. I mean, I think he's an honest person. He went to the camera and said, listen, I do it because it's a broken system. Much like Donald Trump did, he said, I was paying all of these politicians off, and I was doing it because that's the way it is. That's the way the world works. It's messed up and it needs to be fixed. That's literally what Donald Trump said. I respected that. I respect George Soros as well. He says the same thing. He says, listen, it's a broken system. I'm taking advantage of it. The difference is millions of people, for some reason, won't even listen to him. He's like, it's a broken system. I'm exploiting it. I don't care about social repercussions. And you have a lot of people that are just like blinded by the fake news media. They're like, no, he's just a philanthropist. He's just a good guy. He really cares about the women's movement. No, he doesn't. He admitted 10 years ago that he doesn't give a S-H-I-T about anybody or anything. He cares about money. And it is what it is. I'm not even mad at him. I'm more frustrated and upset that so many people believe the fake news and just assume, oh my goodness, all these movements are so great. No, they've all been hijacked by George Soros. The women's movement, Black Lives Matter, the LGBT movement, all of them, they've been hijacked by George Soros. I mean, it's better to just regroup, do some other stuff, and stop being controlled by the people who control the whole world, because it's just what's happening. So I urge everybody to do that. So real quick, I urge everybody to do their own research on George Soros, check out both sides, and then look at certain news sources like MSNBC or Washington Post, New York Times. Look at how they talk about George Soros. Once you learn about who he really is and what he's really done, about all of the economies that he's manipulated, for the better or worse, regardless if someone else would have done it or not. I'm not here to judge George Soros, but I'm saying research about who he really is, and then look at the news sources and how they talk about him, because the only ones that actually call him out for what he's really doing, they're the news sources that the media will tell you, oh my God, those news sources, they're racist, they're xenophobic, they're this and that. It's so pathetic and dishonest that George Soros is saying that the Hungary's government attacking him, he's saying that it's anti-Semitic. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't attack me. That's anti-Semitic. But the funny thing about it is the Hungarian government is being backed by Israel. Israel doesn't like George Soros. Most Jewish people in America, I know, they hate George Soros and they love Donald Trump. The Jewish community loves Donald Trump. The Jewish community hates George Soros, and he's so dishonest. He's like, whoa, it's anti-Semitic. How is it anti-Semitic if all the Jewish people don't like you and they don't want your Open Society Foundation in Israel? How is that anti-Semitic? It's not. That's just tactics of these people. Anytime anyone does anything, oh my God, it's racist, it's sexist, it's anti-Semitic, it's xenophobic. How come hating on Russians all the time is not xenophobic, but mentioning something about, a certain religion, oh, that's xenophobic? No, it's not. You're just dishonest. They lie about everything. Just like Joy Reid, right before I leave, I want to tell you a little story. Joy Reid of MSNBC tweeted a lie about Julian Assange. She was like, I told my whole audience to not look at WikiLeaks because I know it contains fake information. And Julian Assange literally just corrected her and was like, WikiLeaks has never been found with any fake information. They have an 100% accuracy rating, whether you like them or not, whether you think they have good intentions or not. All of the intelligence agencies, everybody, anyone, literally in the world, not one person has ever been able to exploit them for fake because they're not fake, they're 100% accurate. And she tweets, oh, you're fake. And then Julian Assange responds to her and says, we've never been caught. We have an 100% accuracy rating. And she says, oh my God, you're harassing me. She's like, why don't you crawl out of your dark depth corner and stop harassing me? And then she blocked him on Twitter. This is how pathetic these people are. They lie, 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 lie. Literally, this is their only game plan. Like, people have to just stop being so stupid to fall for it, because 100% accuracy rating, that's how I knew Hillary Clinton was going to lose. Because I talked to all my friends who were going to vote for Hillary over Trump, and I'd be like, why are you voting for her? They didn't have any reason. They're like, everyone's racist and sexist. And I'm like, that's your only reason? But what's she going to do? Oh, I don't know. I can't vote for a racist. It's like, that's not a debate. That's called brainwashing. That's called being completely manipulated for your emotions. Anyway, Joy Reid is allowed to lie on Twitter. She gets corrected respectfully, and she says, you're harassing me. You're harassing me. That's disgusting. That's why people say, oh, you're a nasty woman. You are a nasty woman. Not all women are nasty. There's a lot of beautiful women. There's a lot of intelligent women. There's a lot of soulful women. There's a lot of talented women. And then there's nasty women. You're not a beautiful woman, not because you're not beautiful, but your insides are ugly. You're not a talented woman because you literally just show for corporations. You're not a soulful woman because you literally have no soul. You lie on behalf of the global establishment. So by default, yes, you're a nasty woman. No, it's not because I hate all women. No, it's not because every woman is terrible. There's millions upon billions of beautiful, amazing women. You're just not one of them, Hillary Clinton. You're a nasty woman. You're not one of them, Joy Reid. You're a nasty woman. You're not one of them, Rosie O'Donnell. You're a nasty woman. You're not one of them, Rachel Maddow. You're a nasty woman. No, it's not sexist. No, you don't own all women. I probably have more women watchers than you because I'm honest and I'm more loving and compassionate. You're just a dishonest, evil, negative, nasty woman, and real women don't like you. That's why Donald Trump won the election. And then you have the nerve to be like, oh, it's all white women, or it's this woman, it's that woman. What if I told you I got messages from Ethiopian women? What if I told you I got messages from Latino women? What if I told you that most of a large majority of my listeners are Latino, and Latino people don't like you either? Actually, Latinos hate you more so than privileged, like liberal women. So it's a whole dishonest narrative that they've crafted because they're a bunch of nasty women, and they can't just let good women be good women. It's like, hey, let's let the beautiful women be beautiful and own businesses and teach people things and be good people. They can't just let that happen. They're like, no, we're nasty women, so now we own the feminist movement. No, you don't. You don't own the feminist movement. You don't own women. You're nasty women. You don't lead it. I'm sorry, Linda Sarsour. You're not the leader of the feminist movement. You're a nasty woman. You need to go in a corner with Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid and Hillary Clinton and be nasty women and sit in a little nasty corner. We can label it. We can write on the wall, nasty corner for nasty women. And then all the beautiful and smart women and talented women, they can run the feminist movement because you don't own the feminist movement. And I'm sorry, George Soros, but you don't own the Black Lives Matter, George Soros. You don't own the Women's March either. You don't own the resistance. Just because you funnel billions of dollars into it, you're not hijacking women in this country. You manipulate governments, you manipulate currencies. Go do that in other countries until they kick you out. But you're not stealing the women in our country. You're not stealing the men in our country. You're not stealing the social movements in our country, because our country is very progressive and we've made a lot of moves for racial and women and social and all sorts of justice, and we're going to continue making progress without you. You know, our African American community, our Latino community, we're going to continue to make progress without you. It's George Soros who fronts like he's helping and actually makes all these situations worse. So I'm not giving up the women's movement. I'm not giving up the LGBTQ movement. Transgender, gay, and lesbian, you're welcome on my channel. I will always show you love. I will never hate on you. I have much love for you. I believe truly that, you know, I'm not you. So if that's how you feel, I believe you 100%. You know, you have the right to feel how you want, to date who you want, to have sex with who you want. I could care less. I will show you love. Whatever you do, just don't go over to George Soros and Hillary Clinton, because they're going to manipulate your sexual preference for money and for their political agenda. Me, I'm just trying to spread love, compassion, truth, honesty, all of these things, and really just clear the cloud of just negativity and, you know, smoke that people like Hillary Clinton and especially George Soros, they purposely make for their own political agenda. Thank you guys for joining. I'm going to put my links below. If you want to donate, please do. If not, your likes, comments, shares, everything you guys do, that's enough. I don't need the money, but it definitely absolutely helps. We're competing with multi-million-dollar corporations and we're continuously winning. You know, things like InfoWars are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Conservative news outlets are getting bigger. Progressive news outlets, people like Jimmy Dore who tell the truth sometimes, he's getting bigger. H.A. Goodman, Tim Black, you know, progressives who aren't afraid to tell the truth and keep it real, they're getting bigger. Caitlin Johnstone, a brilliant writer, she's getting bigger. We're all getting a lot bigger. So it's, you know, we don't even need that much money. I have 1/10,000th of the money that all these news corporations have, and we still put up bigger numbers. So thank you guys for contributing. It means a lot, it helps a lot, and thank you for joining.